Hey guys, it's Kid Comics on our way to Rosemont, Illinois for Wolf's Flea Market. I'm hoping today we can find some awesome comic books and maybe even some key comic books. Without further ado, let's go.
Go.
Just got these books. We got some old war comics. I mean, these are 12 cents. Got them all for $8. And we even got a signed one, which I guess I'll have to figure out which ones these are signed by. But yeah, these are pretty awesome. Well, we did go to this 60s collector guy. He had a booth and he had some really pristine books. He collected these back in his age, like in the 60s. And we got Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. 11. This is really, really clean. I mean, there's some of that up top and then some, spine wear. And then he had these really cool Neil Adams art. And it's both Brave and the Bold. Like, he had Batman and Spectre and Batman and the Creeper. I mean, this is just awesome. I've never seen these books in such nice condition. But yeah, he had some pretty awesome books, and I got it for an awesome deal at $60.
Hey. Yeah, well.
Captain Marvel, first appearance of Captain Marvel. Just sitting around. You guys would not believe what I just found in this box of old, crappy books. So we were up at this vendor, and he had a bunch of old, crappy books, not bad, but, they're not the best. They're just a bunch of, old 90s titles, and, nothing, too noticeable. Then, we found this holy grail of a book just sitting around when my dad was searching through. And it's really nice. I'd say it's like an 8.0, 8.5. It even has white pages, especially with how old this book is. It came out, I think, in 70s or 60s. But yeah, this is Marvel Superheroes, number 12, featuring Captain Marvel. And this is the first appearance of Captain Marvel. And as you can see, this book does have a couple things of wear. It has some wrinkles along the side of the book, but you know how it's kind of square bound. But it also has some fading on the top, maybe some little spine ticks, but overall this book is really, really nice, and it even has white pages, so that's a really good surprise, and I'm really happy to find this book for only $80. Well, we're back from the flea market, and I've got a ton of books to show you guys, plus a really awesome key comic book at the end that really caught my attention when I was searching for comic books. So, to start off, when I first entered the flea market, I saw pretty much some guy's booth. He was selling some, pretty random stuff. And then I saw a stack of comics he had. So, long story short, he found a storage unit full of old war comics. And he found, a 1940s one that he sold for, $100 or $200, he told me. And, he had all these other war story books that he was trying to sell off. So, he was able to get these for me for $8, and I got, maybe 10 or 12, actually, but there was a ton of these war books that I got for a really good deal. That's 30 cents a book. But, to start off, we have a 25-cent Star-Spangled War Stories featuring the Unknown Soldier, and this is number 192. And I think this is pretty cool. It's Joe Kubert art. And, if you don't know, he did quite a bit of war art, especially during the 60s and 70s. Now, here we have another Joe Kubert art. This is Sergeant Rock, number 234. This is a 15-cent cover. I like this one because it's, a giant tank coming towards these soldiers, and they're all screaming. They're, ah! But, yeah. Next book was actually pretty cool. I mean, it was kind of a shock to me, because, it was with all these other war books, and I didn't expect it. But this is a preview book of, Malibu Comics and Marvel Comics stories, where it's double-signed. I see the bottom one. I think it says Ron Lim 06. I'm not too sure. There's this one I couldn't figure out. So if you guys have any idea as to what these signatures are, please let me know, because I really want to know who signed these books. But yeah, it's pretty much a preview book from what I've seen, and it's a preview book of all of these new characters that they were showing off and all these different titles that they were going to release. So yeah, I mean, that was a pretty nice surprise. Now, up next is another Our Army at War. This is a 15-cent cover. It's number 213, featuring Sergeant Rock again. It's another war cover. I think this one's pretty cool. Again. Now, this next one I want to show you is pretty interesting. It's DC Star Spangled War. It's the Unknown Soldier. So, it's 15 cent. It's number 157. So I think this is a cool cover because, it's got like the mysterious and like ambience over like who this mysterious soldier is that saved this guy. I thought this was a pretty cool and eye-catching book at first. Now, next one, another Sergeant Rock, Our Army at War book. This one's a 20-center, and this is number 271, where, you see he's shooting down a plane, a bomber plane, or a jet, and, it's all, fighting and stuff. This one's pretty cool. I mean, it's got some pretty big defects. All of these war books and stuff had some pretty big defects. Even the Scion book had a ton of defects on it. But, I mean, for $8, you really can't complain with all of these books. Next one. The Unknown Soldier, Star Spangled War. It's another Unknown Soldier book. This is number 152, 15-cent book. More Joe Kubert art. Pretty awesome. You don't get to see his face because you got to read the book to find out. The second to last one, I saved the best two for last out of this whole lot. But the second to last one is Our Army at War number 135. This is the only 12-cent cover I could find in that lot of war books. And as you can see, it is someone fighting a Nazi, which you don't usually see nowadays, many Nazi comic books. So I thought this was pretty awesome. It's a nice yellow cover. Even though it is the roughest of them all, you see it's missing this top corner. It does have a lot of, like, damage to the book. Like, I even tried putting this in a normal bag and board like the rest of these books, but it just couldn't because of how rough of shape the spine was, and it just kept, peeling off all the paper. Plus, this book stinks, honestly. When I took it out, it reeked. Like, it smelled like chemicals. But the last book, in my opinion, was the coolest one. Actually, this is the second 12-cent cover one. And this is Star Spangled War Stories, number 131. I like this book a lot because, you see a caveman on a pterodactyl throwing rocks at a Japanese submarine, which, you don't see every single day in comic books. But, I thought this was a really cool book, and surprisingly, although this was probably the most coolest book, it was the only one without a bag and board. So, I thought I got a really good deal with all of these war story books. And, let me know what you guys thought on this. $8, was that a good deal or what? Alright, so, slow it down. I got some like early Silver Age books. I got Neil Adams art, and I got some Nick Fury Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. So, to start with, I was at this guy's booth. He was some old dude, maybe in his like 60s, 70s. And pretty much, he was trying to sell all of his old stuff, which, makes sense. But he had a whole box of antique comics, and they were in really nice condition. Especially some of these Neil Adams books. Like, these are super bright and really nice condition. Like, I was super surprised. And the two books I got was Brave and the Bold, number 80. This is 12 cent. Batman and the Creeper. I mean, if you look at the art on this, it's really, really clean. And the book itself is really nice condition. And the same goes for our second book, Brave and the Bold, number 75, featuring Batman and the Spectre, The Grasp of Shanzi. This one really popped out when I first saw this book. It's a really nice 12 center, and, I was really surprised to get a good deal on that book. Now, the final book I got from this guy was, a Marvel book, different from the two DC books I got. And this was Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., number 11. This is a 12 center as well, and this is really, really clean. As you can see, I really like the background on this. You see, like, there's some guy screaming in the background with, like, the stars and stuff, and you see Nick Fury in, like, a spacesuit fighting some space alien. I thought this was really, really awesome, so I just decided to pick it up. And I managed getting these three books for only $55, which I thought was a really, really good deal. You know, the Batman and the Creeper book, although it was really, really nice, like, condition-wise, it, like, popped, like, really well. Like, the cover and the art really pops out. And the same would be with the Batman and the Spectre one. This one is also really, really nice. And, you know, the Nick Fury Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. was also really nice to get as well. So, $55, you know, that's a pretty good deal. Well, not as good as a deal I'm going to be showing you right now. So, I got this book. I found it, or my dad found it, lying in a box of old, crummy, crap books just sitting around. It was this old guy's, you know, collection, I guess. He had a bunch of just random books in a bunch of boxes. And, you know, it was really nice, it was surprisingly really, really nice, especially with all of the other books nearby being in kind of rough condition. But for, you know, how, like, old this book is, it's in really good condition, especially with it being really key. Now, I did get a really good deal on this book. I got $80 just for this book, but I think I got it, like, a good deal on this. And this is Marvel Superheroes number 12. Now, if you don't know, Marvel Superheroes number 12 is the first appearance of Captain Marvel. No, not the Captain Marvel that you see in the movies. That's Miss Marvel. I don't know why they call her Captain Marvel, but this was the OG. I like to call this the Green Lantern of the MCU. But, you know, you could tell he's wearing all green and white, which is kind of off of, like, what the normal Captain Marvel we're used to in the MCU looks like. But, yeah, the original Captain Marvel was completely different, and they completely revamped him and, I guess, turned him into a girl in the MCU. But I do know that that happens later on, where Carol Danvers gets turned into Captain Marvel, but they call her Miss Marvel. But yeah, I thought I got a really good deal on this Captain Marvel book. So, I mean, you guys just let me know in the comments if you guys thought I got a really good deal on this. I mean, I only spent $143 at the flea market. I got some awesome Neil Adams books, and I also got some pretty awesome, you know, Nick Fury. And you can't forget the Captain Marvel first appearance. And, you know, this was just an awesome find. And I'm still in shock with how good of a deal I got for all these books. So, if you like this video and want to see more, make sure to Hulk smash that subscribe button. If you want to see more, or if you like this video, then make sure to give it a like. And I'll see you guys in the next hunting video.